us those peaceful verses. And don't just read half the verse. Read the whole verse. Look at the context of all those verses. I have asked this not just for 23 years. I have asked this for 33 years. If Islam is a religion of peace, if Muhammad is a man of peace, if the Quran is a book of peace, then convince us. Prove it to us. Give us one verse in the Quran that says you're to have peace with me, a Christian, a Jew.
I will bring it to you. I will bring it to you. Give us a chance to defend ourselves. Don't just blab on with lies. Don't just full of hate.
We're going to look at the Quran.
Islam is about peace. Islam, that's why we say, Assalamu alaikum.
Give me a verse that supports what you say. I am waiting for a verse. Go ahead. I don't want you to preach now. I want a verse.
The God we worship is called As-Salam, the peace. It's called the peace.
I thought it was Raheem.
Here we go. Give me a verse that says you're to have peace with me, a Christian, or peace with a Jew, or peace with an idolater. I'm waiting for a verse now.
Hey, Jay, why don't you dare to debate with Muslims? Why don't you keep it sit at a silly place with the Christians?
We debate with Muslims all the time.
You're talking about Muslims.
I debated just 3 weeks ago
talking about
with
Islam.
Mansour, one of your best Muslims.
Shall we talk
Go
about
ahead, give me a verse. What verse?
He has debate with Muslims.
Which one do you want?
Surah 2, Ayah 256. Surah 2, Ayah 11. You tell me.
Hold on! Give you a chance to defend yourself!
Hurry up, we want a verse.
Jay, now you're begging like a gay. No, I don't like this because I like women. Because I like women.
Yeah, what surah is that? What surah is that? 2:208. Okay.
He's gonna twist it in English now.
This is my iPad.
Okay, here we go. Surah 2, Ayah 208. O you who believe, enter perfectly into Islam, and follow not the footsteps of Shaitan. Verily, he is to you a plain enemy. So what's peaceful about that?
And it's translated submission. And this is what it means in Arabic.
Submission.
That's not peace, is it?
In submission into submission.
Submission's not peace,
So
mate.
where is peace there? Are you an Arab speaker? Is this your native tongue?
Yes, it
You're
is.
from where?
From Syria.
You're from Syria. So how would you translate this verse? There's the Arabic.
It is exactly like it is translated in English. And this English translation is done by a Muslim.
By a Muslim, okay?
Yes, it is done by a Muslim.
That means
and
you're not
and it
peaceful.
is said, it says,
So
oh yeah, who
don't get close to
come
us.
all you into submission.
Into
So it's like
submission.
you better come into
Is that really peace, folks?
No.
Strike one, okay? Give me another verse.
Another verse.
Go ahead. I'm waiting for another one.
He wouldn't
Just tell me another verse.
get up and take this.
Just talk to me right here. Just talk to me right here.
Hey, Jay, can we have a
Getting on the
debate?
ladder because we'll never get off the ladder. And you'll lose the ladder.
You're scared.
You go get your own ladder. Okay, give me another verse.
You're just over talking the truth. The truth is,
I'm waiting for another verse.
there's loads of
Okay,
verse.
give me another one.
Keep
Give
it
me
up.
another one.
Allah is called As-Salam.
Okay, where is that?
Don't take him seriously.
Give me the verse. Where
Don't
is
take him
that?
seriously. He doesn't dare to
Allah is
debate with him. Take him seriously.
Allah is the peace.
Okay, where?
No, that's wrong. We are warlords. So don't shake your
You're a Muslim?
Hurry up. No, of course I won't become a Muslim. Why would I become a Muslim when I know this Quran? Because we're going to show you this is not a verse of peace. We have been asking this for now 23 years. Muslims, we've been asking this week after week after week. Where are those peaceful verses?
No, there's no.
If this is the book of peace, show us. So give us another verse. We've already destroyed Surah 2, Ayah 208. That has nothing to do with peace. That has to do with submission.
Jay, shut up! I'm talking to you. I don't have a debate.
No, we're not having a
I
debate.
say, how dare? He said,
I will listen and I will hear your verses. And we're going to look at each verse.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
That's interesting. I
just
love
been a
you.
police
Shake my hand.
and I just prayed.
I love you, sir.
No, please. Where
Shake
was your
my
heart?
hand.
Where was your heart before?
Oh, I love
Do you
you.
use
Because Jesus allows me to love every one of you. Jesus says I am to love you.
Really?
Even you, sir, though you don't like
I
me.
know that, yeah, but in Christ, I know you
Where does it say that? Show me in the Quran where it says you're to love a Christian. Because you live in England. And you have to love me here. Because we love you. But folks, I'm waiting for those verses yet. Show me a verse that says, from Muhammad, says you have to love me. I will show you from the Bible where it says I have to love you.
better than you do.
We're actually waiting to go through the verses that he gives in this book. But this man's come forward and said he's got verses. He hasn't yet given us one verse on peace.
Okay, let's see what Qadri says. What's the verse that Qadri used? Qadri, that's Muhammad Tahir al-Qadri. What's another verse he uses? Try Surah 2, Ayah 256.
Okay, that says, Surah 2256 says, there is no compulsion in religion. And he quotes that verse 6 or 7 times.
Now, hold on a
Now look at
minute.
the context of it.
There is no compulsion in religion. There's no compulsion in religion.
But he forgot again. I
Apparently,
didn't
the
tell
right
him.
path has become distinct
next time,
from
tell
the
him what
wrong
to say.
path. Whoever disbelieves in Tagat and believes in Allah, then he has grasped the most trustworthy handle that will be never broken. And Allah is the all-hearer and all-knower. Now read the next verse. Allah is the wali of those who believe. He brings them out of darkness. But as to those who disbelieve,
Into light.
they bring them out from the light into darkness.
Lying.
Those are the dwellers of the fire. Don't tell me is there no compulsion.
So you're a dweller of fire, but there's no compulsion.
So is there compulsion or not?
So
in
there is
Islam?
no religion. In your
Is
religion.
it? Surah 2, Ayah 257 says what to the disbelievers? I just read
Tells them that they're dwelling in fire. But there's something else interesting about that verse. That verse was first placed on a mosque in Damascus that was built on the site of the Church of John the Baptist, which was demolished for it to be built.
And who was the one that built it?
Wali,
Al-Wali, who was the son of Abdul Malik.
No, don't tell him.
In 705.
706 AD. So what that verse is actually saying is that we'll demolish your church and we'll build a mosque on the same site, but you don't have to worship in our mosque if you don't
If
want
you're
to.
clever, that guy
So
is
is that a verse of peace?
Why didn't we kill him?
What's another one?
If you're clever,
another one.
Christian Syria. When we had the power, we did not wipe them out. The Jewish used to flee Europe to Islamic countries. That's Islam.
Go to the next one. What's another verse that Al-Qadri brings up? Surah 2, Ayah
If we
190.
did what you decided to do, that guy wouldn't be here on earth.
He paid you money.
Did you? Or to protect you? How much you paid? How much
Surah
you
2,
paid?
Ayah 190.
How much
It's
did you
another
pay?
one that Al-Qadri brings up.
Well, tell us.
Now this is the verse that stipulates what you're to do if you're attacked and how you
I'm
defend
asking him,
yourself.
is he has a
Go ahead,
courage?
read.
He didn't defend
Surah
me.
2, Ayah
We both
190.
arms, by the way.
The father of the Arabs is well established in history and
Kill
documented in
them
religious
wherever
books.
you find them.
He was a Syrian. He was a
They'll
Syrian.
turn you out.
And he's
So
the father
kill
of the
them
Arabs.
wherever you find them.
you only
Throw
have
them out
knowledge.
from where they threw you out. So what
thought he
limits
was,
are you not to go beyond once you've already killed them?
Yeah, what do you think?
Killing disbelievers. Because it says disbelief is worse than killing.
Does that sound peaceful to you?
No!
Can you see? We're just reading the rest of the verse. Be careful. Don't just read the first part of the verse.
quoted.
Read the whole verse.
Islam is a religion of peace.
And this is the verse he uses to support the notion that Islam is a religion of peace.
Those who disbelieve and hinder from the path of Allah, He will render their deeds vain. Those who believe and do righteous deeds and believe in that which is sent down from Muhammad, He will expiate from them their sins and bring good.
Okay, so the first 3 verses talk about a believer and a disbeliever.
If you
It
black and
defines
white,
who a believer
you don't have a courage
and those who
to
disbelieve.
defend Muslims.
Now, what does verse 4 say?
So when you meet those who disbelieve, smite their necks till when you have killed and wounded many.
Okay, here we go.
Their bonds firmly.
So when you unbelievers, smite their necks, cut off their heads. That's right there in the Quran. Verse 4, after it defines who a believer is and who an unbeliever is, in the first 3 verses, verse 4 says to cut off the heads of the unbelievers. Folks, is this a book of peace?
No.
Do you really believe that the Quran is a book of peace?
No.
So where are these verses of peace? Surah 109. This is the best verse you can find in the Quran. Surah 109, verse 6.
Surah 109 verse 6 says, to you be your religion and to me be my religion.
To you, your religion, to me, my religion. That's the best you're gonna get in the Quran. There is nothing better than that. Now remember the question we asked. And for 23 years we've asked this question. Muslims, if you really believe that you follow a religion of peace, then prove it to us in the Quran. Show us those peaceful verses. And don't just read half the verse. Read the whole verse. Look at the context of all those verses. I have asked this not just for 23 years. I have asked this for 33 years. If Islam is a religion of peace, if Muhammad is a man of peace, if the Quran is a book of peace, then convince us. Prove it to us. Give us one verse in the Quran that says you're to have peace with me, a Christian, a Jew.
In actually fact, in the Quran, it says the closest in dearest to love are those who say we are Christians. That's what it says.
It says that the Christians are loving. It doesn't say that the Muslims are loving to the
Okay, give us
Christians.
the verse. Surah 5, ayah 51.
Stop quoting things that are
We'll have a look at that verse. We'll have a look at the context. We're having a look at this book that's been written by Dr. Muhammad Tahir. This has been put forward 2 weeks ago. Has the book brought peace?
I don't know the book. Why don't you have the literal Quran? Why don't you have
Hey, we're going to read this verse to you.
Let's read this
Here we have
verse.
the
Let's
Quran
read
right
it.
here.
There we go. Let me see the version of the Quran of who wrote this Quran that you're reading.
Oh, seriously?
Okay, so what you read?
Okay, right, the verse you're saying. Don't
No,
quote from my head.
go back to the verse before that.
We're going to read it. We're going to read it.
Oh yeah, we'll look at the verse.
And had they believed in Allah and in the Prophet and in what has been revealed to him, never would they have taken them as awliya, but many of them are fasikun. They would never have taken them as friends. They would have taken them as rebellious.
And what is it?
Fasikun. Now that's a verse you want.
Okay.
Verily, you will find strongest among men in enmity to the Muslims,
Yep.
the Jews,
Yep.
and those who are al-mushrikun, which are the idolaters.
Yes.
And you will find nearest in love to the believers, those who say we are Christians. So we are not you, we are closest to you.
Let's stop.
Not that you are closest to us, we are the closest to you. Now, let's continue.
So is that
In the same surah.
promoting cohesion or is that promoting something
Okay,
else?
let's look at verse 51. Let's go to verse 51 in the same surah. Oh, you who believe, that's
Oh, you
you.
who believe, yes.
Take not the Jews and Christians as awliya.
Yes.
You're not to take us as friends.
Wait.
They are friends
Wait,
of one another.
Out of context.
And
out
if
of
any
context.
amongst you take them as
out of
friends,
context.
I'm
Do
reading.
not take
I'm
such-
reading your
No,
Quran.
you're not.
Okay, what's the context?
Context is, it says, do not take such Christians and such.
It doesn't
Doesn't
say.
say so.
The Arabic doesn't say
Read the Arabic.
لا
It says
Do you speak Arabic?
لا تتخذوا
Do you
أي
read
يهود
Arabic?
And you know what it's talking about?
It
And you know what it's talking about?
uses the definite
Do you read
article.
Arabic, sir?
That means all of them.
It says, do not take such.
No,
Where does it
it
say
doesn't.
that in
The Arabic
Arabic?
doesn't say that.
Show us in the Arabic.
You're reading the English translation.
That's the Arabic right there. Read the Arabic. You get it.
Read it.
I read the Arabic. I read the Arabic.
This guy, do you speak Arabic?
Yeah, I know you.
Do you read Arabic? He is a native Arab speaker. Go ahead, from Syria. Be careful, he'll run away with the Quran.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا. listen to the Arabic, listen to the beautiful Quran. يا أيها الذين آمنوا لا تتخذوا اليهود والنصارى أولياء بعضهم أولياء بعض.
Do not take such.
No, it doesn't such. It says, do not لا تتخذوا اليهود. اليهود is the Jews. The Jews.
Definite article. It's a definite article.
I'll just say it.
Okay, Surah 9, 29.
If you guys want to know if he's telling the truth, why don't you get yourself a copy of the Quran and read it for yourself?
I've got one. I've got one.
All the media.
Right here,
Read it for yourselves. You're understanding individuals. You're all smart. Don't listen to out of text, out of context.
Did we say it out of context?
No, my friend.
Did we read it in the
You're just using the word
Arabic?
context.
Did he translate it in Arabic? Is the word such in there?
No.
Is the word al-Yahud in there?
Yes.
The Jew, the Christian.
What's the rest it says? What's the rest of the message?
They're not Christians and Jews.
Why you don't? What you say? Last means don't take them, alright?
As friends.
Yeah, because it says Jewish. Why? Because they used to hurt people, that's why. Because they hurt people.
You know what? You know what?
And they never
Who cares?
So you shouldn't
You're
follow
not to
them.
take us as friends.
Everyone.
It's in your Quran.
That's what you're doing now.
Take someone.
Surah 9, ayah 29.
It's in the context of war.
You're just using the word context without knowing the context.
There's no war about it.
How many war or such verses are there in the Bible?
Before you read 929, hundreds. You understand this?
Who killed who?
Please.
What did your prophet do to the Jews in Medina? What did Muhammad do to the Jews in Medina? Tell me right here. What did your prophet do to the Banu Nadir family? The Banu Kainuka family? The Banu Qurayza family? Help me right here. And then what did Jesus do?
Read the life story of
What did Jesus do? To those who hated him.
read the Quran.
To those who spat upon him. To those who killed him. What did Jesus do? Father, forgive them. For they know not what they do.
You're a liar.
Oh, I love Jesus.
Go pick up the copy of the English
let's
version
go
of
back.
the Quran for yourself and read it.
Surah 9,
Read
ayah
about the Prophet's
29.
life.
Before you read that first
Complete lie.
In this book, Tahir al-Kadri asks a question.
Bullshit.
What is the relationship between Muslims and Christians? What is the relationship? He asked that question, but he can't answer it in this book. The answer's in the Quran, but he doesn't give us the answer. The answer's in Surah 929.
Don't let other people.
Okay, shall we read it?
Yeah.
And I want you to ask, is this what ISIS is doing right now? Surah 9, ayah 29.
To define Islam.
Fight against those who believe not in Allah, nor the last day, nor forbid that which has been forbidden, and those who acknowledge not the religion of truth among the people of the Scriptures. Who are the people of the Scriptures? Who are the Al Kitab?
Christians and the Jews.
So they are to fight the Christians and the Jews, according to Surah 9, 29. Unless what? Let's read.
That's wrong.
Okay, sir, correct.
Hey, what's wrong? What is wrong?
The Quran says, do not ever fight anyone that has a holy book. Do not ever fight anyone that believes in one God.
Really? You just made up a verse.
We respect Jewish people, we respect...
No. The Quran said do
Shall
not
we read it
fight
again?
those who do not have books. Wait, the Quran says that?
Yes.
What's the verse?
I don't know what it's about.
Say it in Arabic.
You're making it up as you go
Say it in Arabic.
along. Give us the verse in the Quran where it says that.
Well, you just made up. You just made up a verse.
Give us the verse.
I don't memorize it.
I know
but
you did
it.
memorize
I
it.
know my religion. We are not allowed to fight anyone who has a book and believe in one God.
What about if they don't believe in God?
We don't fight them, but we don't respect them.
How about who don't believe in God?
Nice.
We don't
What are you
respect them.
supposed to do?
We don't fight them.
Sir,
Listen,
it says other things in there as well.
Listen, it says too many times in the Quran, if you kill anybody or any type of blood that comes off anybody, you're not going to heaven. No fucking way.
Where does it say that? Give us the verse where it says that.
It says on
Show us what verse where it says that. Give us the verse.
Because that doesn't exist.
It doesn't even exist.
Where's the verse? Where's the verse?
You're making it up, sir. Okay, give me a verse. I have read this for 33 years. Show me a verse where it says that. Have you noticed? He cannot provide a verse.
You say ISIS represents Islam, right? He's on the
Absolutely.
No, not really.
ISIS represents Islam. ISIS does. Because it's following the Quran.
Does the KKK
Does the KKK follow the Bible? Does it follow the Bible? Does it follow Jesus? No. But everything we're reading today is straight out of the Quran. Okay, here we go. Fight against those who believe not in Allah. They don't follow Christianity. They don't follow the Bible. And they don't follow Jesus. But everything we're reading comes right out of the Quran. So who is it that they're fighting? Those are the people of the Bible.
Are you a scholar?
Hold on, let's go back to the back.
You're not a scholar.
Until they pay the jizya tax.
He said
Jizya tax.
Willing submission.
Willing submission. You want me to read? Okay, so what does that mean?
You've got to accept
Doing a good job, mate.
Islam is superior to Christianity. If you accept that, then they won't kill you.
And what is the jizya tax? Help the people here. What is the jizya tax?
Well, what they say is it's supposed to be a tax, but instead of because you don't pay zakat, then it's a protection tax.
And who pays the jizya tax?
Christians and Jews.
And where does that law come from?
The Quran.
And what verse in the Quran?
929.
The verse we've just read.
And it's not just a tax. The normal citizen pays the tax with head high. The Christians and the Jews had to pay that with their head low, in humiliation and feeling themselves subdued. So if anybody
Until
said,
they pay the jizya tax with willing submission.
Yes,
What does it mean, willing submission?
basically they are subdued on with
They have to
by
put their
force.
head down.
Yes.
And they may not show their
That's
head
what they
above a
did.
Muslim.
That's what my ancestors did to Umar and the people who.
And you're from Syria.
Yes.
And your ancestors go back 2,000 years.
Yes.
You go right back to Jesus
Yes,
Christ.
and we were invaded by the Islamic
So
people.
Syria was a Christian nation
It was a Christian
long
nation.
before it was a Muslim nation.
And my family did not want to leave Christianity, and they did not want to die, and they had money. That's why we remain Christian.
And you're still a Christian today.
Yes, I am.
And you have grown up your family for 1,400 years being imposed by this book, have you not?
Exactly.
I want to shake your hand. God bless you. I have not had a family like that. I don't have the experience you have. But folks, can you see? Why is it that the Muslims are doing this? They're not making it up as they go. ISIS does not have a proclivity for cutting off heads. They are following the Quran. Surah 47, ayah 4.
They are more Muslims than you, my friend. They are more Muslims than you.
And he's